The PBG Alaskan Knights are on your screen there. Nihal Sarin, Alina Kashlinskaya, Tan Zhongi, Anish Giri, Nodirbek Abdusatarov and Shakhriyar Mamidyarov. We're going to follow the game of the prodigy board between Javokhir Sindarov from the Triveni Continental Kings and Nihal Sarin, who is representing the PBG Alaskan Knights. This is going to be a very exciting clash. Nihal in action after quite some time. He has a lot of fans for his speed play, and this is what is needed here. With 20 minutes and no increment, we are going to see some exciting clash. Meanwhile, Javokhir Sindarov is the Uzbek youngster on the rise. After Nodirbek Abdusatarov, he is the highest rated player in the country and he is moving rapidly up the rankings. Nihal has the black pieces and this is going to be a very important clash because Nihal is considered by many to be the strongest on the prodigy board in this tournament and Javokhir is the second strongest player. We have arbiter Shore Bayat coming in and starting the clock, and off we go. E4, E5 by Nihal. Knight comes out to F3, knight to C6. We're going to witness perhaps the Italian on the board. Bishop C4, Bishop C5 here. Symmetrical, knight comes out to C3. So Sindarov wants to keep it simple. He's not going for the pawn to C3 lines. But with knight C3, the game becomes much more strategic in nature but also simplified. Castles, and Nihal also castles it out. And Sindarov now plays his pawn to A3, making a luft for his bishop to drop back. And Nihal also does the same. Bishop E3, offering a trade, takes, and you can see these decisions are made so quickly. Black is ready to take doubled pawns for his increased control in the center. Sindarov is also happy with this fact. They are still in their prep, it seems. Rook E8 played. Nihal has 18 minutes 25 seconds. Sindarov has 19 minutes on the clock. He takes on E6. Nihal takes back. And now the knight comes here. So white is angling for F4 break in this position. But Nihal moves his knight to the center of the board. His point being, if you kick me away, I am happy to move back. Your D3 pawn will become weak. So Sindarov plays his king to H1. And how is Nihal continuing? He goes B5. He starts expanding on the queen side. F3 played. Maybe even F4 could be an idea at the right moment. But I think Sindarov is trying to be more positional about this. He goes rook F2, maybe defending C2 some way, making way for the knight to come via F1 to G3. I like Nihal's move H5. Queen E1. Well, very subtle play. G6 played, controlling the F5 square. And now Sindarov brings his knight to B1. He wants to go knight to C3. Interesting. And Nihal goes H4. His idea is knight H5 to clamp this pawn. Push F4. No, he doesn't. And Nihal instantly goes here. Well, black's position suddenly starts to look better because he has more space. And also he's slowly clamping down the position. Knight comes to G4. He brings his queen in. Queen trade occurs. Knight goes back. And this is Nihal's territory. He loves such endgames. He goes king G7. Sindarov plays king G1. You can feel it that black has more space here, but to break through is not going to be easy. Let's see how Nihal does it. Rook D8. He puts his rooks on the D file. The double pawns are helping a bit. Rook comes back to F1. And now Nihal can jump in with his knight to F4. No, he goes F5. Wow. He's creating his play on the king side. Rook F2. Sindarov is waiting here. He's not taking any decisions for now. Nihal takes control of the D5 square. Maybe somewhere A4 needs to be thought of to create some play, but it's not easy. He goes B4. Very interesting move because if you take suddenly the A6 pawn is weak. So Nihal goes knight F4 and he's saying to Sindarov, I'm happy to sacrifice a pawn to keep your structure closed. Wow, that's such a interesting decision by Nihal. He's now a pawn down. Rook E1. and king comes up to f6 to just defend e5 pawn in the long term. The rook comes back to f1 here. White is kind of cramped but has an extra pawn, and now Nihal goes h3. Very interesting move, looking to soften up the position. g3 is a good move. No, he goes g4 and he can take and come in with the king, and if knight takes he can move his king here. Black would be better, but Nihal actually jumps in with the knight to g2. What? Is he sacrificing another pawn here? Knight takes on g2, pawn takes, and if you take here with the king, knight c2 is hanging. But Sindarov has a very strong move, rook f2, and he finds it. f4 closing the position. Now Nihal is not just one pawn down, he's going to lose his second pawn. He's 2 pawns down. Rook h8 played. He has 2 minutes 48 seconds. Sindarov has 4 minutes here. Remember, there's no increment. Players can flag each other. Rook h1, king comes up. What is Nihal doing? He's 2 pawns down here. Insane play here. I cannot understand. King g5. Rook d2 played calmly by Sindarov. And now Nihal puts his king on h4 to stop white from freeing himself with h4. Is the king safe here? I guess so. Sindarov moves his knight to e2, was unsure, but then finally goes with the move. Trade of knights would help white because he's 2 pawns up right now. Rook d8 played. Takes on d4. Rook takes. Now important to play rook d1 so as to defend this, but he goes rook b1. Now this is a mistake because rook c4 is a powerful move. Not so easy to find. Nihal finds it with 1 minute 41 seconds. It's for a reason. He's called the master trickster. What a move. Rook c4. Now gets back one of his pawns. He now has a nice majority here that can roll down. His king on the other hand is doing amazing work on the other side of the board. a5 starts rolling down his majority. a4 push the pawn to b4. I think Nihal can do that. Yes. 1 minute and 13 seconds. He has just 73 seconds to play. Remember guys, this is not going to be easy. Once you come down to last few seconds, even if you have a queen, it's not going to help. King e2, is he moving there or not? He moves it. Sindarov is very unsure. Nihal comes in with his king. The king is coming to d1 and rook c3 played. Very interesting move. If you take, then pawn takes, attacks the rook. He goes rook king c1, and is Nihal coming down with c5 c4. Pushes. Oh, what a move. What a move there. King b2 and finds another amazing move. If you take here, again rook d2, and now he wants to switch his rook here and play c4. Wow, what level of chess is Nihal Sarin playing with less than a minute on the clock? Takes en passant. Rook takes, and now to break through he needs to find c4. Again finds it with 44 seconds. Rook takes and calmly says sorry to his opponent, takes the pawn. He's broken through. Nihal Sarin is now super quick, takes the first pawn. This pawn on f file is going to become a queen. Unsure where to put his rook. e3 plays to a3. Rook goes in. Pawn push. He has 30 seconds to work this out. Pawn push again. Rook comes and tries to stop the pawn. The king joins in. White is pushing his pawn, but Nihal brings his rook with 24 seconds. He wins the game. 16 seconds for Sindarov. What a game this was by Nihal Sarin. An absolute positional masterpiece. He kept his rook on the c4 square twice where it could be taken, but it couldn't be taken because the d2 rook would be lost and then the black rook would come in. It was just phenomenal play. Positional understanding at a very high level and also keeping control on your nerves. This is what Nihal Sarin is all about. Calmly doing his job, and he helps PBG Alaskan Knights beat the Triveni Continental Kings.